Our semi-finals coming up. Second versus third for a spot in the final tomorrow. Katon Hippos taking on the JIEWAS Wolves. This should be a very interesting game for both these two teams. Very contrasting styles of play. The Wolves having a very tight defense, very structured team play. Hippos relying on individual brilliance from some of their incredible players, Ivan Debellier, Cole Hawkins, their captain Lucas Pillars. Should be a very interesting game to see how these two teams square up. We do see number 11 for the Wolves, Andreas Hug there. Great to have him back for this game. He did miss out on his previous game due to a red card received in the game prior to it. Red cards receiving a 1-game suspension, including, in addition to sending off for the rest of the current game where they received that card. Teams lining up for their introductions to their adoring fans and crowd within the Ningbo Olympic Sports Centre. Number 1 for the JIEWAS Wolves from Poland, Cezary Salmonik. Number 2 from the Netherlands, Roy Dekkers. Number 3 and the captain of the JIEWAS Wolves from Switzerland, Dario Stern. Number 6 from Spain, Adrian Hamida. Number 8 from France, Leo Manahoud. And number 10 from Chinese Taipei, Zhu Xing. Number 11 from Switzerland, Andreas Hug. And number 12 from Great Britain, David McBay. Introducing the Katon Hippos now. Number 1 from Hungary, Miklos Timar. Number 2 from Poland and the captain of the Katon Hippos, Lucas Pillars. Number 3 from New Zealand, Cole Hawkins. Number 4 from Spain, Angel Gordo Herrero. Number 5 from Russia, Ivan Debellier. Number 8 from the Netherlands, Tjerk Webbers. And number 11 from Australia, Luke Holmes. Our referees for this game, Chen Shenghua from Chinese Taipei and Evan Kong from Singapore. So the Katon Hippos definitely the favourites for this game. Just a very strong team. Some incredible players throughout the squad. Mikros Timar, their number one. Great inside player, creating screens. Cole Hawkins, number 3. Not as good a season for this second season as it perhaps his first, but just changing up his role, not taking as many goals against his name, but creating more of the play. And there you see number 5, Ivan Debelli. Well, he's been outstanding for both seasons. 25 blocks, 19 steals. Really ruthless player. For the Wolves, the Swiss duo of Andreas Hug and Dario Stern, still as potent as ever. They have Adrian Chamida in goals now for the second season. Great goalkeeper from Spain. And of course, number 8, Leo Manahu from France. Very powerful shot. We see Luke Holmes, number 11 for the Hippos, playing goalkeeper for their team. He's a regular in goals for Australia at previous Worlds and other competitions. Both teams just having some final words before we get this game underway. And joining me for this first half, captain for Season 2 for the Tudor Commandos from Great Britain, Ed Lart. Ed, good to get a final win to finish off the season?
Yeah, really good feeling getting that 5th place, but not what we wanted when we set out in this competition, but it's going to have to do.
How do you feel about that final shot towards the end that you took?
Open goals, my worst nightmare. I see them and I just fluff it every time. So
unlucky to get one final goal against your name, but you did get the win as a team. That's what matters the most.
Played really well as a team, really worked the ball well. Had a little talk when we were 2-0 down, just said, let's win this, boys.
Great work for the captain of the Wolves, Dario Stern, to win that charge start. Any predictions for this game for me, Ed?
I think I'm thinking maybe Wolves might have it, but I don't know. Will be a tough one. Played both teams in training, very strong teams. Drew to them earlier, so hopefully, don't know. I think the Wolves might bag it, but who knows?
Yeah, with such contrasting playing styles between the two teams, it is hard to tell who will come out on top. We'll find out in just under 20 minutes at the end of this game. First minute almost gone. No goal yet. Choke Weber's in the centre, feeds it across to Gordo Herrero. First shot, but it's blocked down for the Wolves. Immediately looking for that fast break with Dario Stern. Racing down that right hand side. He is met by Luke Holmes. Slowing him down, gets the block in as well. Nice little quick paddle flick though. Lucky for the Wolves to retain possession there. Excellent work from the Hippos to shut down that fast break though. They'd like to score the first goal. They don't want to be chasing this game from the start. Manahu's shot blocked over for a corner. Lovely screen there from David McBay. Stern's shot blocked by Gordo Herrero. Does fall kindly for him as well. So now the Hippos have a chance to work the ball up the field. Unorthodox pass, but it finds its way to Timar. He's drawn two players. There is some space on the left-hand side if he can feed the ball round with Holmes. Across to DeBellier. Gets it inside to Gordo Herrero. Angle's a bit too steep, but he feeds the ball back out to Holmes. Weber's down the centre. He loves to shoot, so he gets the goal as well. Lovely shot there down the centre from Tjerk Weber's from the Netherlands. Round Hamida's paddle into that right-hand side netting.
Nice early start for Hippos there. If they win this, it will be the second final they've made in the CPSL league.
Second consecutive as well. They did find themselves the winners last year, playing a final match against the Blue Helmets. There is a chance for that to repeat itself this year with the Blue Helmets coming up against the Tigers in the next game. Nice work from Gordo Herrera to intercept that. Manhoot does have the ball though, but Gordo Herrera gets another block in. Great work from the Spaniard. It is a Wolves sideline ball though. Immediately switches to the other side to Hamida. Holmes just trying to feed that ball out, but Manhoot manages to scrape it back in. Shot across the face of goal. Wolves still in possession. Manhoot across. Trying to find Salmonik. He's running out of space and he does put the ball out over the end line. So it's a goalkeeper ball for the Hippos. Hippos taking the time to get a few substitutions going. We see Pillars and Hawkins on the field now. Verbers feeds it into Herrero. Gets it across to DeBellier. Over to Hawkins. Oh, great work from the Kiwi. Lovely goal. He's going to be very happy with that. It is only his second goal of this season. Two goals from 18, not the stats that he would like. But he did score plenty in the first half. Again, with that change in role, becoming more of a playmaker for his team with the dynamics changing with the addition of the Season 2 players. Hamida with the cheeky little dink, but blocked out by Luke Holmes. Wolves with the corner. Ball with Deckers, across to his captain, sends it back to him now. Hamida's driving down that left-hand side. Oh, and his shot just across the face. Will be a Hippo's ball. With their captain, Lucas Pillars. Brief interception from the Wolves there, but has fallen back to the Hippos. 4 minutes left in this first half. Hippos do have a 2-0 lead against the Wolves. The Wolves' defence still looking quite tight, but they have struggled to look threatening when they have been in attack down the other end. Pillars feeds it through to Herrero.
Oh, really nice shot off the bar in.
Excellent goal there from the Spaniard. Great work from the Hippos team in attack. Creating that screen, getting it through to Herrero. He's only got one paddle to beat, and that's the keeper's, and he puts it around it against that right hand upright. So 3-0, approaching 3 minutes left. Manahoud's shot, his pass out, intercepted by Debelier. Now got a fast break going on. Not a lot of space, but does Herrero have room? Just tries to feed it back out, but referee has called that it crossed the goal line. Excellent goal there from Dario Stern from Switzerland, the captain. We saw Hug and Xing just creating that wedge down the centre, giving him that space to get that shot through. Very fast shot, not a lot Luke Holmes can do about that. Debelier cross to Webers. An excellent goal there from the Dutch player. That's 6 goals for Tjerk Webers. And the Wolves just not being able to deal with this Hippo's attack, have called a timeout. They're going to just go through a few things. Ed, any ideas on what they can do to stop the Hippos just creating that space and getting those goals?
Just not really letting these players into the zone and trying to stick a man on these outside shots coming in and just not make mistakes. Leo should have took a second there and taken the pass a bit better, but it's hard when you're in that situation. I think, just if they want to win this game, they've just got to keep composure and just go through and smash it.
Do you think they need to change up any formation? Do you think the 3-1 defence is working for them, or with a few goals down, whether they should be switching to a 2-2 to put a bit more aggression out on those Hippos drivers?
Maybe switch to a 2-2, but then you don't want to be chasing too much and then leaving your back 2 men. You might have 3 men, and 3-on-2 is a lot harder to defend than 4-on-5. So we'll see. But 3 goals is a long way to climb up, so we'll see how this game goes.
We do see the Hippos there using a 2-2 in their own defence. Hamida does find some space on the inside of Timar, but Luke Holmes has the block in goals. The Wolves, one of the smaller and lighter of the teams. They do have a lot of pace, but not a lot of body weight to move those defenders out of the way. So his Hippo's 2-2 is quite successful to just shut down all of the Wolves' drives, which is where a lot of their attacking play is coming from. Wolves just not really having enough creativity to find some space to work on everything, and just a wayward pass there from Stern. And again, we have another fast break on. This one's with Miklos Timar. Gordo Herrera's on the inside. Feeds the ball through to him. Zing's facing backwards. Back to Timar. Oh, and his shot is wide. You can see the frustration on his face for missing that. It was an excellent play. Xing had his paddle going every direction. Just needed to get that shot on target. 40 seconds left in this first half. See whether the Wolves can get one back. Hamida's got plenty of space on that right hand side. Try and feed the ball around to him.
Unlucky to bounce off the top bar there.
Luke Holmes with the long shot. Only 3 seconds left. Fell short. Got 2 seconds left on the clock now. Lucas Pillar's just pressuring Stern. And not enough time to get that shot off. Short anyway. So the Hippos will go into the halftime break with a 3-goal lead, leading 4 goals to 1 in this first semi-final game. All right, we have Cesar Salomonic and Miklos Timar, number 1 from both teams.
Yeah, this looks a bit nasty, I think, on the replay. But he didn't get the ball, unfortunately.
So yeah, Hippos with the ball. Captain of the Bulls, Anthony Barronson-Vanoi, joining me again for commentary.
I love it. I love it. Can't lose this.
That's true. Disappointing final game.
Really disappointing. Wasn't really enjoyable. The team sort of just fell apart.
Fortunately, summing up 2019 CPSL for the Bulls for both seasons.
Pretty much. Sounds like it was pretty much the same last year as well, 2018, but not too sure what to do about that.
It is a tough one for these teams. All the players from different parts of the world, speaking different languages. We have had a few players in some teams that don't speak any English. Most players, however, do have enough to be able to have a good team talk, come up with a plan, but unfortunately, Kapi, your team is an example where sometimes it doesn't always work out.
Oh, we've had plans, it just has to be executed. And you try, and I could probably point out in the last game, oh, I love this shot from outside. I called a timeout and I pretty much dictated on what I wanted done, and there was a box in on our left-hand side, on their right, on top of, I set the box in and Sparker was behind me and the ball went completely the wrong way. It was just explained everything what happens with the Bulls. We say one thing and we do completely opposite.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Oh, that was a lovely driving shot there by himself.
Great work for the number 4 for the Hippos, Angel Gordo Herrero.
The Wolves have got a hill to climb.
Yeah, Hippo's starting to run away with this game.
And nothing much else bar the shot.
Wolves just really struggling to break down Hippo's defence and create that space. Nice work from Stern to feed it into Manahu, but again he's got too much pressure and he's just having to force a low percentage shot. Have to commend the energy and the commitment from the Hippos in defence though.
Got a nice, quite tight 2-2, and they seem to be working well with each other to try and cover those drives again. That low drive, there was 2 of them there, but not really over-committing. Oh, he does it again from outside.
2 goals to the Swiss maestro Dario Stern, both from very similar places, straight over the full defence. Both of those with a lovely wedge screen from his teammates in the top of the Hippos' defence. So they have found one attacking technique that seems to work, but
looking for the push out now. I think they must realise that time is against them, and sitting back for defence is just not quite on your man, letting him come out there and just costly.
yeah, so lovely conversion there from Chuck Webers, but great lofted pass there. I think it was from Cole Hawkins. It did almost look like he was going for the shot, but it fell nicely for the Dutch number 8. Hamida in front of goal for the Wolves again. He's got 3 paddles to get through. Tries to put it out the back of his hand, but blocked easily by the Hippos. So yeah, we do see the Wolves pressing out. There are 6 minutes left in this game, but they're 4 goals down. They really need to get back into this quickly if they're going to have any chance of making that final match.
Indeed.
They will have a 3rd place playoff if they do lose, but obviously every team here is looking for that spot in the final and that chance of winning that lovely big gold ring.
Lovely work by Lucas there. Just taking the heat, taking the pressure, giving himself some space, nailing it in the coffin.
A bit of frustration showing from Darius Stern there. He knows he stuffed that one up. He needed to keep his paddle in the water. Been putting pressure against Pillars, but instead he was waving his paddle up in the air. Pillars managed to get that space, get the shot off.
Quite often you get the, I'll just give him a push, but you're pushing him away. You really just need to keep the pedal in the water, turn him away from goal and stay next to him. So it just makes it a little bit more difficult, but it's really hard to do that in the heat of the moment. You think, I just pedal in there, I can make this block, but nice goal there before by the Wolves.
On that low shot from Timar, are trying to scoop it underneath.
Now they have to go.
Decker's pass,
Wolves have to go. The clock was not their friend.
Lovely by Manahu. Great block there from the Hippos. Four minutes 30.
It's not undoable. It's one thing I've been really frustrated with in this game is that it's really hard to call some of those corner balls. The refs aren't picking up that it's hitting a pedal, and it's just sort of the teams aren't also playing fair. They're saying, yeah, oh no, it wasn't me, but frustration, the refs can only call what they see, so.
Well, it's nice to see a little bit of sportsmanship there from Luke Holmes, goalkeeper for the Hippos, just putting his hand up, letting the referees know that he did touch that to award the corner. We did also see that in the previous game with Anton Holmes, but yes, not everyone.
Did it myself as well. On the fast break, I sort of touched it out.
Loose there, but the Hippos still hold on to it.
Probably a well turned down shot. They just wind the clock down. Oh, Lucas Pillars again just absorbs the pressure and whacks another nail in their coffin.
Yeah, so 8-3, 5-goal lead now. And the Wolves have called their timeout. They really need to come up with some form of plan if they want to get back into this. And it seems that they haven't called a timeout. They're just going to continue for the remaining 3 minutes.
The Wolves can't afford sloppy passes like that. They really need to make it count. A couple of quick goals here might change the outlook. I think over the last couple of days with playing yellow the other day and also their first game, they've just started to find their groove again. I think they'll be a hard team to to beat in the final if they make it there, which is looking quite likely from this angle.
Not quite the shot that you want to be taking.
David McVeigh getting called for the foul there. Referee thought he probably hit his hand.
And again, it's down to Pillars to that anchor. Excellent work there from Ivan de Bellier to outpace Cesar Salomonic and get the pass, put it into the open goal. But again, that's 3 times Lucas Pillars sitting in that anchor position right underneath goal. And his opponent on the Wolves has just not been putting pressure on his boat, allowing him to drift backwards, get enough space to, for the first 2 we saw him get the goal, and for that one have an easy, uncontested pass through to his teammate for an open goal. So the Hippos have called a timeout. 1 minute 47 left on the clock. A very big margin between these 2 teams now. Game pretty much done and dusted.
Pretty much.
So it does look like the Hippos have made their 2nd final in a row for CPSL.
Well deserved as well. They've had a good game.
Yeah, a very ruthless and thorough performance here. Wolves just not having any response.
Not quite sure what the timeout's about. They seem deep in discussion. And maybe just trying to work on a couple of things and possibly looking forward to they get their final. Maybe they have a goal of not letting them get another goal. Making them work for the ball, and
they know that the Wolves will be pressing, so maybe it might have just been a bit of a chat to talk about exactly what they're going to do to hold this ball off them.
Bit of a rest.
Gordo Herrera's found some space.
Much better press from the Wolves. There's pressure on the ball carrier.
A little bit too much aggression from the Wolves there, just giving up the foul.
Not 100% sure what for. It was plenty of water from Gerald, and
I think it may have been putting a bit of pressure on him before he'd made it all the way back up after going into the water. But it'll be exactly what the Hippos want, because it will mean a reset of that shot clock, and here we have another reset. Though that goal will not stand, because a foul had occurred earlier. Referees are deemed no advantage, so it does look like
GPS.
we have a penalty here. If this is the first time you're tuning into CPSL 2019, the penalty rules are different to standard ICF rules. It is a ice hockey style penalty where they start from the halfway line. There is a goalkeeper in place. They'll have 10 seconds to shoot. The goalkeeper has to stay on their line. The penalty only has a minimum of a green card, so not necessarily a yellow card for the penalty. Off the bar there from Gordo Herrera, which means now open play has resumed, but he does put it in the net. Unlucky there from Hamida to be able to shut down that second attempt.
Once again, perfect example of pedal in the water and keep turning him.
Shows how easy it is to lose those fundamentals
Yeah.
in the heat of such a big game.
And the Wolves just have no reply.
So yeah, 10-3 now, 34 seconds left. See whether the Wolves can get one consolation goal in the final seconds of this game. However, some loose passes there, making it even harder for themselves.
There'll be a couple of angry people, I believe, after they get off the water.
Yep. Barry Stern, their captain, trying to do it all himself. A little bit of hero mode. 10 seconds left. And a loose pass. It is picked up by Hug. Fed through to Salomonic. Nice block there from Luke Holmes. 2 seconds left. One final corner for the Wolves. Hippo's putting some pressure out on the players. And the block is in place. And that is it for the game. So the Hippos into the final for the 2019 CPSL with a thorough demolishing of the JIEWAS Wolves. Great performance from the green team.
Indeed. It was a complete performance. They kept the foot on the throat all the way to the end.
Wolves just had absolutely nothing to give in their attack, just unable to break that down. Their defence not as strong as we've seen in the previous games of both seasons, but that is the result.